Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this guy can cooperate, we are going to film our labor delivery and our short little NICU stint, I don't know, stay. What, honey? But first of all, I'm gonna show you guys Bennett Robert. He's a little cranky right now. Say hi. I can't even handle him. He's usually happy 24/7. But of course, when I take out the camera, he's gonna be a little cranky. I can't even handle him. He is just the best little guy in the entire world. I can't even believe that he's here and he's mine. I'm sorry this took forever to film. I don't know how moms on YouTube legit like have a baby and then jump right back into life. I've been trying to film this every day for like a week. And this is how you're gonna get me. I'm sorry, I never dressed up before. I'm in a robe and my hair is disgusting and I'm dirty. I don't care. I'm in baby heaven, and if I never shower again, he might hate me, but I don't even care. So let's just jump right in. I'm gonna hold him while he's happy. So I was 40 weeks, 6 days when he was born, and I got induced on Sunday, May 23rd. We did an induction because I never started to, sorry, I'm so tired all the time, so I can't remember anything. I never started to dilate. I was 1 centimeter dilated for like a week, and then, so we decided to set an induction date, sorry. So we went in Sunday night at 9 p.m. and they started with an oral medication. I forget what it's called, sorry. To start things going, and they inserted like a balloon catheter, I assume. I don't remember the names of things either, sorry guys. It was the most painful experience of my life. At that moment, I was like, this little guy is 100% our only baby. I think it was almost as painful as the ERA, which to me was god-awful. So we did that. And then they gave me something to help me calm down because I was so anxious and just like afraid, and my anxiety started going off the charts. So then we did all that. We tried to go to sleep, and at 4 a.m. I guess my balloon catheter fell out. So at that point, they moved me to like a real labor room. At that point, I was just kind of like in a waiting area, and they moved us to a real labor and delivery room. And I think at that point, it was like in the middle of the night. It was 4 in the morning, so I don't remember all the details. Sorry, guys. He was getting stressed out, I believe, at that point. So they instantly gave me the epidural, which was equally as painful as the balloon catheter thing they put in my cervix. So I was at a 3 at that point. I don't remember asking why I got the epidural so quickly. I didn't like get into active labor or anything. I was in the middle of the night, so I don't remember asking questions as to why they did that. I just remember he was like big and scary. He was so sweet, but like he was a big guy. The anesthesiologist came in and we went right into the epidural, which was god awful. And then I went back to sleep for a little bit. They started me on Pitocin at 9 in the morning, and I still never dilated. I didn't dilate any further than 3 when they checked me. I think my doctor came in, my OB came around 10. It didn't work. He didn't like the Pitocin, so they stopped it at that point. They made me go on one side. A few hours later, they put me back on the Pitocin. All right, guys, same look, different day. I never got to finish filming yesterday because the little peanut kept distracting me and was just having a really hard time getting himself back to sleep. All right, so I'm sorry if this video is all over the place. I'm sorry if that first little segment I was distracted because I was holding the baby. This is real life. I honestly have no idea how like these actual like YouTubers that do this for work, I guess because it's work for them, they have to like film everything so like fast and get everything done. All right, so I think I was up to the Pitocin or the epidural. I'm sorry if this is all over the place. Like I said, I am all over the place because I can't remember my thoughts because of lack of sleep. All right, so I think we were up to, they were checking me and they had to get off the Pitocin. If not, I'm sorry. At some point, they had to take me off the Pitocin because it kept stressing him out. I think this was around like 10 or 11. My labor wasn't like that intense, guys. Like, it really wasn't. So just warning you, like, I didn't have like a crazy labor story. My glasses are filthy. It just, nothing progressed. So we had to stop the Pitocin because it was stressing out baby. And at this point, my doctor, my OB left, I guess. I guess she can't just hang out at the hospital all day waiting for me to go into labor. I don't know. So the resident doctor came in and I was like, this is the second time the baby's stressed out. I have not progressed at all since 4 in the morning. Like, realistically, like, how long could this last? Because you guys know I'm crazy anxious and I was so nervous for a long induction. And I did not want to be in labor for like 24 hours. Like, I did not progress at all from 4 in the morning until like at all. Even like when the doctor came back and checked me, I'll get to that. So I was like, realistically, like, can I just, like, if this doesn't progress in a few hours, I just want to do a C-section. Like, I can't sit here all day. My brain is going crazy. Like, I just couldn't do it. So she said, you know, it's definitely an option because the baby's been stressed out twice. Let me talk to your OB and I'll get back to you. So I was like, okay, great. So at this point, they gave me like that peanut ball. I don't know if it's a ball, but you put it like between your legs and it tries to like open you up. I had to be on my side to get the baby to like be active, I guess, or to, I forget why they put me on the side. And it was so weird to not like feel anything. Like, I could move, but like I couldn't feel my legs at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so weird being on, having the epidural. It was just insane. It was also weird to like not have to like worry about going pee. I wish I could have like an epidural, a catheter 24/7. It was just so insanely weird to like not even know like when you're peeing. It just like happened. So a few hours later, the resident doctor came back in. She checked me and I still haven't dilated. So I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, please, like, I'm not doing this again. Like, because they had to stop the Pitocin to get the baby because Bennett was not enjoying it, you know? So I was like, I'm not going to stress him out again. I'm not going to do this all day long. So she's like, let me call your OB. Because the baby's been stressed out twice, like, this resident doctor was so sweet. She's like, I do what you request, what you have to request. She's like, we're on board for whatever you want to do. So she came back. She told me that the OB will be here at 2. We will do the C-section, and then my anxiety automatically kind of like went down because I just could not handle it. Meanwhile, like, Rob's just napping there because I wasn't in any pain. Like, I wasn't having like contractions. It was just like the weirdest thing. Like, I feel like I didn't feel any contractions because they put me right on to the epidural. I don't know. Is that normal? I have no idea. So I think at this point he went to get himself some food. I, of course, couldn't eat except ice chips. And they cut me off of those too once we were getting closer to the C-section. And I'm a thirsty person. I like to drink a lot. So then my OB came. She's like, before we do this, let me check you one more time just to see if anything progressed. This point was like 1:30. Still nothing. I was like, she's like, you sure you want to do this? I'm like, I'm 100% sure I'm not sitting here all day. So we go. They get me all prepped and ready for the C-section, which was such a weird experience. If you have not had a C-section, I don't know how to describe it. I was definitely, once they gave me more medicine in the epidural, I got nauseous right away. They gave me something. I was like, I'm gonna throw up. I was more afraid of throwing up than I was having them cut my baby out. I hate throwing up. I think I've thrown up like 5 times in my entire life. Maybe 6. I just don't do it. I hate throwing up. So they gave me the medication, and before we know it, they started cutting me open. Rob was so grossed out. I couldn't look up or to the side because I feel like everything in the OR was like reflective, and like you could see something like the light above. I just remember thinking like, oh my God, close your eyes. But I was like kind of like dopey anyway. They didn't give me like any kind of pain medication, but I don't know if like the epidural medicine makes you tired. I don't know. But it was just the most weird feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. It was like you could feel them poking around, but you couldn't feel the pain. I have no way to describe it. It was just so weird. Like Rob kept asking, he's like, you feel that? You feel? I'm like, I feel like them moving things, but I don't feel the pain. It was just so weird. I have no way to describe it. And it was just so weird, like not being able to move my legs. Like I kept thinking like, it was actually making me feel claustrophobic, but I was just like closing my eyes. I'm like, this will be over before you know it. This will be over before you know it. And then the doctor looks over the drape and she's like, this baby does not want to be born. She's like, I have to like push him out. Like he was just like, we were almost 41 weeks. Like he should have been ready to come out. I was just like, Rob like started laughing. And then I just remember them pushing. And then out pops Bennett. Still had no name at this point. Rob's like, oh my God, there he is. Like it was just so, oh my God, I can't even describe the emotions. Like, oh my God, it was insane. And then they took the baby. Rob went with him to get like cleaned up, to weigh him and all that stuff. And then they started like putting everything back. I don't even know what they took out. I don't know. But they were like shoving things in. I was falling asleep. I'm guessing from like whatever medication they had me on. I'm like, are they gonna think I'm dying? Like, I feel fine. I just want to, like, I just kept like dozing off. It was just so weird having them like, I don't know. Again, it was just the weirdest feeling in the world, in the entire world. And then they came back with the baby, and Rob and I got our little picture of all three of us. It was just so insane. It was just, oh my God. It didn't go the way that I wanted, but I didn't really have a plan. I knew that I didn't want to be in, you guys know, I've mentioned this in several videos. I did not want to be in labor for 48 hours. Like my anxiety couldn't handle it. So everything went exactly the way it should have went. Like I am not sad that I didn't get to push out my baby. I am not sad about anything. Like I truly believe that it happened the way it was supposed to happen. And then at this point, so Bennett was born at 2:58, right around 3 o'clock. It took like an hour, I think, for them to like, I kept looking at the clock. I don't know why. I think it took like an hour to put everything together inside of me again. And then they moved us to like a little recovery section. And then there, they cleaned me up. I definitely remember, the epidural didn't last that, like once I was done, I was so afraid of like the epidural wearing off and I'd start feeling pain. But once they put me into recovery, like I slowly started getting feeling in my toes and stuff again. And the lady was the nurse that came in to like clean me up and put like a little diaper on me, was like, I need somebody to help me turn her. And I'm like, I could lift myself up. She's like, you can already? I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. I have it's 2 weeks later. It's not like things could go bad, but I had a really great C-section recovery. So they get the little diaper on me. She wipes me up. It was so weird. I felt like, you know, my brother is handicapped and he can't move anything. So oh my gosh, this darn phone. Where was I? This phone keeps ringing. They cleaned me up. Oh, now the baby's gonna start crying. This is lovely. They cleaned me up and, oh, my brother. I felt like my brother because he can't move anything because of his brain injury. And I just felt like my brother. Like she kept asking to turn me and all this stuff. And I was just like, I could lift my butt up. Like I could do this. And she was just amazed. And I was so thirsty at this point. And she's like, well, let's get you to try some juice just to see how you hold it down. And of course I did just fine. I really believe, I don't know if it's just for me, it's mind over matter, how you recover from things. I don't like to not be able to do things myself. I don't like to be out of commission. I just am like a very strong-willed person. So I kind of feel like I strong-willed myself into not having an awful recovery. So once I had the juice down and I didn't get nauseous, 1 second. Once I showed signs of like not getting nauseous, they wheeled my little peanut into me and it was just like pure heaven. At this point, Rob went to get himself some more food because I think it was like 6 o'clock. And then he came back and found us and we had like our little bonding time. It was, I can't, like I just look at him and I'm like, I can't believe you've been waiting for us. He's gonna be fussy right now. 1 second again. All right, we're gonna have him finish the video with us. Now I'm gonna get distracted. I can't stop staring at him. I just couldn't believe that like this little peanut was literally waiting for us for 2 years. Like he was just sitting, I'm gonna start crying. Like I look at him and I'm like, thank you so much for your patience. Like I can't. Like he was legit just like waiting in the freezer, waiting for us. Like I can't. So then they took him back away to wheel me up to my room. And then I think at this point it was like 7 or 8. We get to the room and I had to pee, of course, because they took that catheter out. And I was like, darn it, like I need that. And I was like, can I get up to pee? She's like, you can get up to pee. I'm like, well, how else would I get pee? Like I need to go. So she helped me get out of bed. She was amazed that I could get up and pee. And at this point I wasn't like in pain. It just felt really sore. So I got up to pee, which was fine. And then I got into like my bed. They brought me some Tylenol. And then they didn't bring me Bennett until like 9 p.m. And we tried some nursing. It wasn't really working. He wasn't really eating that well. And his temperature dropped. So now we'll get into like the NICU part of our story. I don't know if it's because we had our room very cold, because we are very, like, we're like cold people. We love to have like the AC on. And I had him undressed, trying to get him to latch. And we kept trying to feed him and he kept trying to fall asleep. Like even with the formula, they did end up giving him some formula. Oh my God, I love him. So I think around like midnight, the nurse took him to go into like the little warming station. And at the hospital I was at, they don't have like a nursery, so they don't take the babies in the middle of the night, which was totally fine. I didn't sleep at all because I just kept looking over at him in this little box. And then she brought him back. She took him for like about 2 hours. Brought him back. I got up to try to feed him again. And then Rob tried to feed him the bottle. He wasn't really taking a lot. I think he was taking like at this point 2 to 5 mLs. He did a lot of his pooping. He did like 6 of that black poop. I forget what it's called. It was so, Rob was like, his face was like, he was like, oh my God, is it supposed to look like that? I'm like, this is normal. So then around 8, when the nurse switch happened, the new nurse came in very pushy. At first I was like, oh my God, like I want my night nurse back. She was so sweet, so like nurturing. I really liked her. And this lady came in and was like, I'll get him to eat, and started like manhandling him, trying to feed him. And then took his temperature again and noticed it was low. So then at 9 o'clock that morning, they were like, we're gonna put him into the NICU. I'm like, what? Like I almost had a heart attack. Rob went with him to get settled in the NICU. And you know, nobody wants their baby to go to the NICU. You automatically start thinking like all the bad things. So this is Tuesday now. And I was so tired because I didn't sleep for like ever. So once Rob got back from the NICU, he's like, you really have to pick a name. So we had like they said, go back in an hour once he gets all hooked up and everything. So we were deciding on a name. It was either going to be Alex, Jake, or Bennett. And I just love the name Bennett because it means blessed. And we are truly blessed to have him. So the first day in the NICU was a blur to me because I just was so tired. And I kept having to update people. I feel like updating people is like one of the most annoying parts of like having a baby. And I get it, like you need to tell people how things are going. But just keeping up with it all was just kind of like, oh my God. So I just started like group chats with different people. So they were like, we're gonna do some blood work. They put him on antibiotics just in case. They were thinking maybe it was an infection. And then Rob told them that we had our room, really, I think our room was down to like 69 degrees. And they were like, okay, maybe that is why, because we kept undressing him to try to wake him up to eat. But they did all this blood work. We went down a lot that day because I kept pumping to try to get the colostrum into him. Oh my God, that was just like, I kept like getting like little drops and they were like, yeah, you did it. You did great. I'm like, literally, this is a drop. They're like, we'll swab it in his mouth. And then I could not sleep that night, Tuesday night, because I was just so worried that something would happen, because every time we walked out of the NICU, you know, you think of all the babies in there that like, I can't, like, if you're a NICU mom, like that, and you had like real NICU issues, like my heart hurts for you. Like he was all the way at the end of the hallway. So like we'd have to walk past all these different like NICU rooms, and it was just like, I couldn't, like what we saw one mom just crying. It was just so sad. It just made my heart hurt. So I was so tired that night. I made Rob go home actually, because his snoring just was like awful the night before. I'm like, go home so I could sleep. And I did. I was able to sleep a few hours that night. So Wednesday, I felt really good still. Like after my C-section, they were like amazed at like how good I felt. I went down there. They still wanted to wheel me down there. I went down there and saw him, and they said that his first round of blood work came back fine. Nothing was wrong. They actually, he finished his IV, he finished his antibiotics, but they kept him on the IV fluids just in case, and they actually turned off the heater to see if he'd maintain his temperature, and he did. I kept pumping the colostrum for him. I took a shower that day. What? God bless you. Oh, God bless. So then Wednesday happened. Rob came back. We just like snuggled him up in the NICU all day. I took another nap because they kept saying like, now's your time to rest. Like your baby's in like the best hands right now. Like just worry about you, get your rest, because once you go home, like it's just you. And I was like, okay. So we went back to the room. I sent Rob to get us some food. Again, Wednesday night, I sent him home so I could sleep pretty good. And then by Thursday morning, they said that the next round of blood work came back fine, and he maintained his temperature the whole day without the warmer. So he was set to go home. And then we came home Thursday, which, I mean, it was just so amazing to be home. Like, being in the hospital is the most annoying thing in the world. Like, every time you try to lay down, like a million people come in. My OB came a few times to check me, to check my incision. She did his circumcision Thursday morning. You know, they're constantly coming in to give you like your pain medication. I didn't take anything great. I just took Tylenol and Motrin. They cycled that. They actually also gave me some kind of anti-cough medication, so I wouldn't cough, so it wouldn't hurt down there. I didn't take that once we got home, and I actually forgot to keep up with the schedule once we got home. Like I took it from time to time, but I didn't take it like on their schedule. And it was so weird. Like not the second he came out, but like the next day I noticed my heartburn went away, and the numbness in my hands went away. So definitely it was all pregnancy related. Right, honey? So yeah, that's our little labor and delivery and NICU story. Again, I'm sorry if it's kind of like all over the place. I just wanted to get it on film for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. We are actually 2 weeks. He's 2 weeks old yesterday now. So once he's a month old, I'll do like a whole update about like our first month home and my C-section recovery, which has been a breeze, to be honest with you. I don't know how I got so lucky. But yeah, it is now time to feed this little peanut. I cannot even believe this is real life, guys. I cannot even believe it. Could you just eat him up? Say hi, guys. Say hi, friends. Oh, I love you, Lou. Hi, honey bears. I'm just so obsessed. We are just so in love. I can't take this. And I'm just, my emotions are all over the place. I will do a real quick like postpartum anxiety update. The second we got home, I called my psychiatrist and I upped my medication. They kept trying to, they said I could up it during the 3rd trimester. I just didn't want to risk anything because everything was going smooth. So I was on 50 milligrams of Zoloft up until last week. And then I upped it to 100 because I couldn't, my mind was like racing. Every possible worry. I already noticed a difference. So I'm glad that I did that. Take care of your mental health. The emotions postpartum are insane. Like I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, another day is gone. And I start crying, like hysterically crying. And I'm sure like a lot of it is mixed with tiredness, but either way, I'm just so grateful to be here, guys. If you have any questions, if you felt like I left anything out, let me know down below, guys. I'm so happy to be able to share this part of my story with you guys finally. I've been waiting for this for years. So if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in our next video.